Honestly, I feel quite emotional actually, sitting here, getting to see you for the first time, because I think it's such a special moment, this moment. I am so grateful for WhatsOnStage and Theatre Mania for having this happen for us, because, you know, we've spoken through social media throughout the process of when you got the job, and it's been so amazing. And I feel like now to be able to see you face to face, I know that the fans will be going absolutely crazy and they will be wanting us to ask all the right questions. And I just hope one day I get to hug you, but I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. So okay, so we are here because WhatsOnStage and Theatre Mania have brought us together for us to ask each other questions. And yeah, so shall I kick it off, Emilie?
Yes, go ahead. I'm excited.
Okay. All right. So, okay. I've got a few questions. It was like really hard to pick a couple of questions because I think we could actually speak for hours and I think we've got a lot to say. But okay, one of my first big questions was, because I know how much this moment meant to me, and I think I know that this will mean so much to you, but how did it feel the first time you tried on your costume and your wig and you saw a glimpse of yourself for the first time as Christine Daaé?
Yeah, so the first time I had the entire look together was my put-in, like 2 days before I went on, and it was really emotional. Well, first of all, I was like, I have to sing in this corset, and I have to dance in this corset, and
then no joke,
in this corset, and run around and have all these emotions and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to get my like physical body like together. But then it was just like, I mean, it's such an iconic look, the red and green and the gold. I also think it looks so good on our skin. And I just felt really just like happy and excited. And that whole day especially was like just crazy. And it was just like kind of nice to have a moment before I went on in my dressing room, just to be like, you got this, girl. And like, just like enjoy that before the craziness ensued.
Of course. Yeah, I know, I can relate. It's such an emotional moment, because I think the build up for anyone auditioning for a role, a dream role, and then getting it, and then seeing yourself come to life in that moment as the character is so special. But I think for us, especially the journeys we've gone on to get to this moment and to be representing as the first Black women in the West End and Broadway in this role, I think it was very emotional to kind of see myself in that position and go, wow, girl, you've done it, you know, and how special is this? And now let's go out there and do it for all the other little brown and Black girls out there who are watching us and witnessing this and going, you know what, I can do that too. And that was very special. And it's quite emotional thinking about it.
It is emotional thinking about it.
Say you love me. You know I do.
Go on, you go. Ask me a question.
Okay. So my first question for you is, what was it? What was the most challenging and also the most rewarding thing during the rehearsal process for Phantom?
Oh gosh.
A double whammy for you.
Pardon?
A double whammy for you.
A W moment. Okay. I think, you know, there were so many challenges coming into getting the role and then starting rehearsals. I think, you know, getting the role was one thing. Then I had to prove why I'd got the role. And there was a lot of eyes looking to make sure, you know, okay, why in 34 years has there never been a Black woman to play this role? And now that's happened. And I felt an immense pressure to deliver and to be a beacon of hope for so many other women who I know want to play this role. So I felt a lot of, I guess, the challenges were coming into the rehearsal process and asking the questions, making sure that I was making a change for a positive way so that representation in that role was always going to happen. And that came down to things like, we spoke about this before, the wigs, you know, the fact that I wanted to really celebrate Black Afro textured hair. And how do we do that? And how do we do it in the style of the show, in the period, but also show that Black Afro textured hair is beautiful and it can be worn in this show. And I want to represent my own hair and be authentically me as Christine. That was one of the points. When it comes down to, you know, we do a whole point section in the show in Hannibal, and I wanted to make sure that my point shoes were the same color as my skin, so that my line was an extension. It was all an extension of my skin. So my legs just looked long and elegant, and it was all me, you know? I wasn't gonna wear pink point shoes. So there was conversations about that. Then also conversations about certain moments in the show, you know, where we spoke about the mirror bride. How do we change that so that it's universally for anyone? So when, you know, any Christine steps into that role, that the mirror bride is there as a representation of any Christine. And these are all conversations that were very challenging and hard to have at times, because they were questioning a lot about the show that's been happening for 34 years, and how we're going to make these changes, and how we're going to then move forward so that everyone can see this accessibility for the show, and that no one's excluded, and everyone can feel that they could be a part of this show. I now do the full bridge cross. I don't know about you,
Same, yeah.
but I now do the full bridge cross, and that never happened before. It was always other women playing Christine to create the illusion that she was everywhere. But I said, okay, well, I need to play this. I need to play that journey, because if I am one of the only Black women in the show, I can't have anyone else do that role and play that track other than me. And I guess the reward was the response that it got, you know, from people who came and watched the show around the world, the messages, when people actually saw that those things happen, especially the wig, you know, there was such an outpouring about that. And, you know, so many women going, I see my hair as beautiful now. And that's powerful, that in a couple of moments we made such change and we represented such beauty. And hopefully now that will have a ripple effect that will never go backwards, because this isn't a moment that is here for just now. This is a moment that hopefully will be here for forever, and we won't be talking about it as being the first.
I remember seeing, I think it was your reaction video to seeing you in your Christine dress for the first time. It was like that video, that press video.
Yeah.
And I was like in the middle of audition callbacks for the role. And I remember my friend sent it to me and she was like, girl, like, this is gonna be you, like in a few months. And I was like, I don't know, like, you know, I was still unsure. And I mean, it wasn't a definite thing. I've had a really good feeling and I felt like the team liked me, and seeing you just like so excited, and then seeing you with your wig on and being like, oh, they gave her an afro wig, like they gave her a textured wig that looks like her hair. I was like, I'm so excited, because if this is like could be me, I'm also gonna get that opportunity to like represent my hair on the stage and like on Broadway, and like have my like costume and hair be on the front of the Majestic Theater and have people walk by and see like, you know, this is a Black Christine and she also has, you know, type 4 textured hair, you know, on Broadway, and having that conversation and letting that be normal.
In all your fantasies, you always knew that man and mystery were both in you.
Okay, right, let's get another question in. Do you have a pre-show ritual?
Okay, so kind of. It mostly has to do with like just like frivolous stuff that like makes me happy. So like I usually get like a little snack before I come into the theater, so I can like
All the food.
all the food. It's usually like a cookie from this place called Schmackery's. And then I get I order from Starbucks. Like I order a steamed apple juice with 2 Mint Majesty tea bags in it, and it's the tastiest thing in the world.
I'm gonna have to try that.
You have to. It's so nice for your voice. And so I usually come into the theater with that, and like I get there with like maybe like an hour and a half before the show, and
yeah,
I just like to take my time. Like I love doing makeup, so that's like my favorite part. I just love like taking my time doing my makeup and like listening to music, and yeah, and then I usually just like stretch a little bit before I do like a little bit of yoga, maybe like a couple sun salutations, and
yes,
try and like breathe and meditate, and then warm up obviously, and then yeah, that's mostly it. Nothing too crazy.
Okay, let's move on. Right.
Okay, so my second question is,
go on.
What is your favorite moment in the show that you are not in?
This is hard because we're
You're
hardly
in
off
full
stage.
Yup.
We are hardly off stage.
Yeah.
But I definitely love the Il Muto Ballet.
Okay. Yeah.
The girls are they're just stunning, and they're beautiful, and the corps de ballet, they work their butts off. They are incredible. And that moment I think is so beautiful. I think because I have such a connection with ballet from my younger years, training and everything, so to be in a show where I got to do point work and be a part of the corps de ballet was so amazing, because I never thought that would ever happen. So my 2 loves I get to do in a show, classical and ballet. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh girl!
She's right here.
Oh my gosh! Wow! I bow to you. I am not a dancer. Well, I mean, like I dance like a little bit, like at school and stuff, but I'm not like a trained ballerina. So I go on like a little, you know.
Yeah. But I know you work it. I know you.
I try. I give an arm. But like, don't hit the feet.
And in this labyrinth where night is blind.
Right, I'm gonna ask ask you another question. What
Okay.
is the funniest thing that's ever happened on stage
Okay.
or
so
during a show? During this time, yeah. So what's the funniest thing that's happened to you on stage?
So there was one moment during Music of the Night, or after Music of the Night, during the morning after scene, when I'm running like around and he's chasing me, and I'm on one side of the stage next to the organ, and then I'm supposed to run across the stage, and I'm supposed to trip and fall, right? And as I'm running across the stage, my negligee gets caught on the organ, and it's literally like toilet paper as I'm running across, and it's like
That's happened to me as well.
really,
Yeah, on the portfolio.
yeah, it was insane. And the Phantom is like on the other side trying to like wrap up the toilet paper, and also like have this whole moment where he's like crawling on the ground, and it was just like, it was a mess. But afterwards we had like such a good laugh.
Oh, okay. For me, oh, that's brilliant, because I can so relate, because that negligee, it gets caught in everything. But for me, the funniest moment that happened on stage was at the end of All I Ask of You. We're just about to kiss. Christina Rao, myself and Reese, we're just about to kiss, and we're just in that final moment at the end of the song. And it sounded, in the quietest moment, it sounded like someone farted. Like backstage.
Oh, backstage.
And it echoed so loudly onto stage, and me and Reese just looked at each other like, obviously carrying on, trying to stay in character, but when things like that happen, it is you know, it just makes you want to burst out laughing, doesn't
Yes.
it? And I don't understand why things like that make you laugh, but it is literally the funniest thing that happened. And we were looking at each other like, because obviously we know that the Phantom's up in the angel at the horse at the back, and we were like, no, surely not. Oh, this has been so gorgeous. I could actually talk to you for forever, and I think let's definitely catch up again after this.
Yeah.
You know, this is so special, and I really hope we get to meet in person. I'm coming to New York actually next August. So well, not next August, it'll be this August, because I'm thinking we're still, you know, but no, this August. So we'll have to try and get together. We really will. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so happy for you, and I'm so glad you are loving this moment. You deserve it all, and just keep shining your brightest light, because you are beautiful in the role, and I'm just so excited for you and this moment. And it's amazing.
Thank you. Oh, I look up to you so much, and I thank you so much for like talking to me, and like I hope we get to see each other soon.
Always.
Thank you also to Theater Mania and WhatsOnStage for having us.
Thank you
For making this happen.
Thank you so much for making this happen. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been so special. I absolutely adore you, and I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, honey.